If you thought Britain's exit from the EU didn't affect you, think again. When the historic vote took place last week, stocks in the United States tumbled. Millions of people's 401ks took a hit.
Yeah, that's right. The retirement brothers, Abe Ashton and Nick Strobelt of Ashton Strobelt, are back with us this morning to explain. They specialize in financial planning, retirement planning, and investment management. Welcome back, guys.
Welcome.
Hey, thank you.
Thanks.
Gosh, your good suits got me all choked up.
We're suits,
These are some sharp-dressed fellas over
You see
here.
how much time he took matching his socks
He
to his
did.
Down to the
tie?
socks.
You know,
Sean
Like
Tempesta would
to
be so
the socks.
I
proud.
know, Sean would be proud.
Yeah, he would.
Okay, we'll send him a picture. We'll Snapchat him.
You guys are with it. I like that.
All the kids are doing it.
All right,
the
so
kids.
check it out. I'm so glad y'all are here because I am so confused with this whole Brexit thing and what it means for us financially. So somebody help me out.
Okay, well, I'll start because you've got more information than I have, so I'll let you just do all the good stuff.
I'm waiting to hear what you have to say.
Well, the market over the last 3 days has recovered a lot of the losses from right after the vote, right?
Okay.
It went straight down, it's come back up a bit over the last couple of days, so there is some stability. But what happens anytime, and we get this when something happens in China or something happens in Greece and our market goes down, we've got to remember that when we look at the Dow Jones or the S&P 500, we're dealing with companies that do business internationally. Right? When we're talking about Apple computers,
Right.
they're selling iPhones everywhere. And if something happens in the EU and there's instability created there, it makes the outlook for those particular companies and earnings in that sector nervous, right? And that's what makes our markets go down and the market historically has never liked uncertainty. Anytime there's a big change, they like predictability. They like to be able to say, these are what, under normal circumstances, we can count on our earnings. This many iPhones will be sold. This many hamburgers will be eaten. This
Right.
much gasoline will be used. We know how to plan accordingly. Whenever there's a big change globally, all of a sudden they say, we don't know how this is going to work. We don't know if there's going to lead to a mass exodus of the EU. Will now Italy or France think about leaving? Because remember, with the Brexit, what happens is the EU now loses their biggest single economy as well as their biggest military. Right? And that's normally the situation where you've got the biggest people paying for the least, in this case Greece. Who was helping bail out Greece the most? Probably Britain,
Right.
because they're the biggest economy in the EU. You've got a lot of people out working in the fields and saying, hey, why are we bailing out Greece? Why are we, and we don't even get to control our own borders now, and we're spending the most money, and we want out of here. And you
So
can,
financially, is this a positive or a negative thing for the U.S.?
positive for the dollar. Right, because the dollar, if you wanted to ever go to England,
Stronger
if you wanted to go to Downton Abbey and go cruising around, now's the time.
It's a strong
The dollar
dollar,
is
right.
strong right now. And there's been a lot of people, conspiracy theorists, who will say, hey, there's going to be a worldwide money order at some point. We're all going to be using one. Well, this takes a big step backwards because what the EU and what Britain has just proven is this model is not working for them right now.
Right.
And so that just makes the dollar that much more stable.
Speaking of something that's worldwide, a lot of people are predicting a global recession because of this. What do you think?
It could. What do you think? I'll ask you.
No, I think it's hard to tell.
Everyone's like, no,
You
you
take
do
this
it.
one. Appreciate it.
Are you even here?
Hey, I was waiting. You were doing so good on your own.
It was, that suit just brought it all out.
But as far as the global recession goes, it's really too early to tell at this point.
Yeah.
But Britain leaving the EU, or at least voting to, they're not going to send the letter to the EU declaring their leave until after Mr. Cameron leaves office, is what's been reported. But it's hard to tell. I think if more countries, like Abe said, start to leave the EU and indicate they want out, that could really trigger a global
That would be a big
recession.
deal.
But we're all waiting to see if France or Italy or another company or another country is going to indicate that, and that's yet to be told.
Okay.
Here in the U.S., how does this affect our 401ks?
Yeah, well, your account went down.
Yes,
Right?
That's what
I
happened.
You
woke
lost
up and
money.
cried.
Yeah, you wake up, you have this little, oh, who's in charge of this thing anyway? You know, am I supposed to make a change here or not? And that's what people want to know. We get the phone call saying, should I make a change? Should I make an impulse reaction? By the time, let's just look at this. It went down in 2 days and it's come back up over 3 days.
Right.
If you made an emotional decision to bail out, 48 hours later, all you did was you realized the loss and you didn't participate in
But
this
it's a
3-day
gamble,
recovery.
right? I
It's
mean-
always a little bit of a gamble, but it's gambling with hopefully an advisor who has some experience, like Nick. Well, I mean, he's practically a genius at this stuff.
Ooh, he
When I
complimented
say
you. How's
practically,
that?
This is
I use the
amazing.
word
This
practically
is
loosely, but practically a genius. But no, this is the idea: is you're working with an advisor who talks you away from the edge.
So what do we do to protect our money then? Because I'm still one of those people that's a little emotional about it.
Yeah, well,
Having a plan is the most important key, because the knee-jerk decisions that cause people to make, ill-timed things like sell low and buy high is what really makes people not wealthy. And so having a plan that has, gives you an idea of what to do during these market turmoils leads you to wealth in retirement.
This
And
is
remember,
when
you're
people
young.
need you most.
Right, you're both young. We're talking primarily to retirees and seniors who say, you know what, I'm 65 years old. I don't want to do any more
The
of those
red zone,
48-hour, 72-hour ups and downs. I want mine safe and protected. You guys can weather it. Stay in there, hang in there. But
All
for
right.
retired people, we want it safe.
We want to
I'm
say
stressing out right now, but there's a book.
Yes,
The
and a
Stress-Free
special offer.
Retirement
Yep,
book. that
stress-free
you guys have.
retirement. First 25 callers, we've got this free gift. All they have to do is call our office. They get a copy of the stress-free retirement, and it'll give them the answers, James, exactly what you asked for.
right now, then.
How do I protect my retirement? How do I make sure? Hopefully somebody's nice on the phone. If not, they're
I'm trying
fired.
to be one of the
Yeah,
first
fired.
25
Yes.
callers right now.
Get in there, get that book because
Oh, they
this
actually
is
answered. I wasn't ready.
this is a very important thing for retirees and people who are within 5 years of retirement to make sure they understand what's going on as they go into retirement.
If people are hesitant to give you a call, they can also email. Is that an option?
Yep, they just go to ashtonstrobelt.com. There's a box they can click to contact us through our website or email us. We're happy to talk with them.
And get them in, and it's a
We do
consultation.
this complimentary, there's never a cost. We do this complimentary review where we'll sit down with them and see where they're at, where they want to be, and show them how they can get there from here.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, gentlemen.
Thanks for having us.
for
We're always
being
happy
here
to be
I
today.
feel like I know what's going on now.
Educating
Thank you.
us. If you are nearing retirement and you want to learn more about how to safeguard your nest egg, take advantage of Abe and Nick's offer today. They are giving away a complimentary, that means free, copy of a book called Stress-Free Retirement by author Patrick Kelly. The first 25 people who call right now will get it.
And they'll answer because they just answered my call.
That's right. The number is 702-900-8177.
And if you want your questions answered in person, you can actually schedule a complimentary, once again, free appointment with the Retirement Brothers. The details are right there on your screen.